Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to June of 2015. This is your monthly Tarotscope for June 2015 for Aquarius. I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the deck here, and then we'll get to your reading. Looking for June 2015 for Aquarius. Okay, so let's see what's coming up for you. I'm just going to lay the cards out first, and then we'll get to the reading. Ooh, star, great card. Okay, so the first thing that I'm noticing in this reading is that there's a lot of optimism, a lot of this yellow color towards the end of the month, and then there's also a lot of blue, which tells me that your mind may be active, or you might be making some decisions, a lot of mental activity. In particular, the two things that are standing out for me are this 2 at the very beginning of June, and also this 2 at the end of June. 2s often have to do with a decision or collaboration, or in this case, joint finances. This card here, the 2 of Rods, represents having personal power, having the world in the palm of your hands, and making a decision that enables you to have more power and control and boldness and vision. There may be someone else in this card that gets cut out. You can see that there's someone else present, but really the 2 of Rods belong to this man here who is pictured, and I'm seeing that as you, Aquarius, because there's a lot of mental activity in this card. Even though it's a Rods, which represent fire, I'm seeing this as you with your feather in your cap. You've gotten to a nice position of stability, of authority, and you're making your own decisions. 2 of Rods says that I have personal power, I have control, the world's in my hands. So you're making some, maybe a difficult decision. You may be cutting someone out, or you may be deciding if you're going to include them, but that's what's coming up at the beginning of the month. And you're also in a nice seat with Empress here. She's in reverse, so there may be some way in which you don't feel as fertile or abundant or rich, or there may be some way in which you're not getting all your needs met, or you're not feeling satisfied about something. But the fact that it's Empress still tells me you're sitting pretty. That's basically what Empress is about, is fulfillment, all your needs met, abundance, vitality, all the things that Empress represents. Because she's in reverse, it's telling me maybe you're not as comfortable in that seat. Even you're sitting pretty, you're not as comfortable in that seat as you might be. And it might be due to some of the decisions that you're having to make at the beginning of the month. Next 2 cards, Page of Swords and Knight of Swords, are both, again, about that mental decision. Page of Swords stands up for what he believes in, stands on a hill and says, this is right, this is true. Because he's in reverse, you may not know what is right, or you might have some doubts or questions about what's right for you or what's true for you. But you'll notice that in all 3 of these cards, which I'm seeing as representations of you, all of these gentlemen have feathers in their cap, or some sort of authority, a flag in their cap, decoration here. So they're all established or have some sort of authority of some kind. And because they're all blue or sword related cards, it's about clarity of the mind or decision making. Knight of Swords tends to rush through things. So even though he has courage and boldness, be careful that you don't rush into any decisions, or that you don't make any decisions hastily, because sometimes Knight of Swords can rush ahead to save, in this case there's a burning tower, but you want to make sure that you're not being hasty about something. He can sometimes regret decisions that he makes because he's made them too quickly. And this too says that there's a weighing of options. So give yourself time to weigh those options. King of Rods, Hermit, Five of Swords, and Page of Rods. This has to do with your vitality. The fact that Hermit and Five of Swords are in the middle and they're reversed are both telling me you might feel a little isolated right now. And you might feel as though you are just having to make the best decision with what limited resources you have. Five of Swords usually is called picking up the pieces after a battle has gone on or some sort of crisis, and there's just few things left and he's collecting what he can after that has happened. And Hermit tells me, you know, isolated, you still see a light at the tunnel, but things are a little bit cold and desolate right now for you. So you might feel like it's just you against the rest of the world. You still have good vitality though, surrounding you with King of Rods and Page of Rods. There's an unrelenting optimism that you're able to tap into right now to get you through this time of isolation and just feeling like you don't have that many resources to draw upon. You're collecting what you can. But coming up towards the end of the month, there's going to be a lot of renewal. You've got Four of Wands, you've got the Star, Seven of Rods or Wands, and Two of Coins. So a lot of these are in reverse, which tells me they won't come to as full of a fruition as we might like to see them. Four of Wands is stability. It is joy and celebration and festivity and all of that. So something about your home. You might enjoy something that comes about at your home, and there's a lot. The Star is all about hope and opportunity and optimism and being the star of the stage. So you actually might host a nice event at your home towards the end of the month. Although because they're in reverse, it may not turn out as good as you had hoped it would. This is a lot of hopefulness with the Star too, a lot of hope. But I'm still seeing there's a certain amount of struggle that's going on. Seven of Wands means that you're in a battle or in a struggle. You're actually in a good position. It echoes this Empress here, that you're in a good position, but it doesn't mean that there's not a struggle or a challenge. Also, along this line, there's a common thread throughout the month of this battle. Seven of Wands is battle, Five of Swords is after the battle, and Page of Swords is, you know, standing up for something and being willing to fight. So there's some sort of battle that's going on. And at the end of the month, you know, you might be of two minds. Because it's Two of Coins, it may have to do with your job or your income. You may have some sort of joint finances that go on or signing of a contract. You may be deciding between two different sources of income. You may be considering between your current job and a job that is coming to you or that you've applied for. There's a lot of duality in this card because it's the Two of Coins. So there's another choice, that this one financially, that you're going to be having to make at the end of the month. It echoes this first beginning of the month, the card at the beginning of the month, where there's another choice that has been made, or that you're making, having to do with your own direction and your own personal power and boldness, where you may just decide it very boldly because you have the authority to do so. All these cards are authority figures. But in this one, it may be more about what you personally are choosing with your contracts or joint finances or jobs or two sources of income. You're making some decisions there too. But this row is a lot more joyful and hopeful. This one says you have endurance. Even though there's a struggle, you're able to hang in there. And you've got things on your side towards the end of the month. So I hope you enjoyed that, Aquarius, and we will have another reading for you next month. Thanks for tuning in.